I'm Emily Wright, and I'm sitting here with Donnie Wahlberg, executive producer of Boston's Finest. We're going to talk a little bit about season 2 and then a little bit of other stuff if you have the time. So tell me a little bit about what season 2 is going to bring forward. We've got 6 new episodes coming in November. What can people expect? And for people who haven't seen the show yet, what are they getting into when they turn it on
Well,
TNT?
Boston's Finest is a look at the lives of the men and women of the Boston Police Department on the job and off. We see how they work, how they operate, and how they protect the streets of the city that they were born and raised in. Boston's unique in its police and with its firemen and its emergency services because it's such a small city. People think of Boston as a really big city, but it's actually pretty small. And the officers who work this city usually are working neighborhoods in the streets literally that they grew up on. And, by comparison, New York has 35,000 police officers. Boston has 2,000, 2,500. It's a completely different scope. So it's a much more intimate police force. It's a much more proactive police force. And, we are the first show ever to go into not only on the job with them, but into their lives and see, what makes them tick, what drives them, what makes them want to do what they do. And season 2, I think, knowing that the world has seen how great the Boston Police Department is now. I mean, it took a tragic event, obviously, for people to sort of get an awareness of just how heroic they are. But now that that's happened and the world knows more of them, I think it's going to do wonders for the show, and I think it's going to be good.
Great. So having played a police officer in so many different roles before, how does that impact how you go out and take part in a show like this?
Well, I think having played so many police officers prepared me a lot. In the editing room, I can watch a cut come together and see whether it's shaping up properly, whether the procedure is right. The police have to watch it themselves and say, hey, that's not right or whatever. But it gives me a lot of insight, and quite frankly, if I hadn't been doing a show like Blue Bloods for the last few years, I wouldn't have been prepared as a producer to do Boston's Finest. But working with so many police officers throughout the years has really helped me a lot, and I'm still learning a lot.
Right.
But it definitely prepared me to be able to step up to the plate and do the job.
And you've had your hands in so many projects over the past year, from this show to Blue Bloods, just opening another Wahlburgers in Canada recently. How do you find time for personal activities and to go on Vine and to go on dates with Jenny and everything that you do outside of the show?
Just make time. I'm also a dad and have 2 boys and have to spend a lot of time with them. I took my youngest son on tour with me this summer. But my fans are a big part of what I do. They're the ones who are, they're the very reason I probably have jobs, because I have talent, I have something to bring to the table, whatever, but if it's not for them wanting to see me, then there's really no point in me doing any of this. So it's important for me to give back, and doing Vines and Twitter and stuff like that, and just spending time talking and taking pictures and stuff it's important for me to do that, because they're a part of my team. And as far as like personal life, I mean, just make time. I am sort of a workaholic, but it helps to be hanging out with one.
Right.
Makes it a little easier.
That's good. Now, do you guys get to see each other now that she's in New York more often when you're out there filming, or is it still hard?
Well, right now we're coming up with jobs. I think so. I went on The View, so that was one way to hang out, and maybe I'll get her on Blue Bloods or something, and we can hang out there. Okay. We'll go on some different talk shows together or something.
Great.
But we figure it out.
Awesome. Thank you, Donnie.